I'm going to start recording this session. So welcome everyone. This is our very first session, Dascoin presentation, business overview at this sort of time. Very soon, these calls will be a regular thing since we're getting really busy. We're getting really busy with this fantastic opportunity. So what we are actually going to be talking about today is the financial revolution, blockchain, and digital currency, as well as a new worldwide system that will be the future of payments. And I would like to start from a very, very short video just to give you an overview of what exactly is going on out in the market today. And most of us by now have heard about Bitcoin and what it did. And I'm going to be going through some of the slides just to help you visualize how powerful Bitcoin is. But in case you have not heard anything about Bitcoin, this video will give you that very short overview of what exactly it is.
Have you heard of Bitcoin? It's currently the most valuable digital currency on Earth. In July 2010, one Bitcoin was worth just 8 cents, but on March the 3rd, 2017, one Bitcoin became worth more than an ounce of gold. We've all witnessed the world go digital. The internet and smartphone have revolutionized our day-to-day lives, and yet, through it all, our money has remained fairly unchanged, until now. Bitcoin's innovative design has attracted attention the world over, and many early adopters have made millions from tiny deposits as its value has skyrocketed. Both Richard Branson and Bill Gates are fans of the idea of a global digital currency. But they both predict that Bitcoin won't be the dominant digital currency due to its many problems. Its transactions are slow, it can be used anonymously, it can't comply with existing regulations, and it lacks effective governance. More practically, it's likely not accepted at your local store, so don't expect to buy your morning coffee with Bitcoin anytime soon. But it's important that you pay attention to the growth of Bitcoin, because something bigger is coming next. Bitcoin is built on technology called the blockchain, which experts predict will be the next big technology revolution, and will likely become bigger than the internet itself. The blockchain allows anybody on the planet to transfer value without risk of fraud, duplication, or interference. This technology has given rise to hundreds of digital currencies, all hoping to become more useful and more valuable than Bitcoin. So the race is now on to find the future format of money. Some of the world's most innovative businesses are focused on bringing the next digital currency to market. They want to address the weaknesses of Bitcoin and deliver a digital currency that will be embraced by millions of mainstream users throughout the world. For those who recognize the opportunity, the potential gains are sure to be unprecedented.
Really, really incredible video, and it gives me goosebumps every single time I watch. I'm just going to let this person in. Okay, so we've seen over the last decade or so significant changes, especially when it comes to technology. Technology is and has already transformed the world as we know it. So Google completely changed their information, Facebook changed friendship, Apple changed communication, but a far more significant change is coming. So the technology, since Bitcoin, that currency we've just watched on a video, it has been changing the way the money's been moving around, moving about since about 2010, 2009. And we're seeing this paradigm shift that is underway, and where the value is actually changing. The value is changing from physical, where we're moving away from commodity-based value to digital. So we are moving towards the network-based value, and this is happening as of now. We're seeing this more and more on a daily basis. So everything really changed back in 1971 when the gold became, or actually stopped. The dollar actually stopped. The gold actually stopped backing up the dollar. So Nixon in 1971 basically said that the US dollar no longer is convertible to gold. So it lost that physical attachment. So the money is no longer directly backed by physical commodities at all. So it's only, since then, the money's only been backed up by the system of governance and the ecosystem of value that surrounds it. So effectively the communities that use that particular currency. And now we're also seeing, this isn't nothing new. We've known about this, but no one really kind of understands and really sees the numbers on a daily basis. But this is what's been recently released, and that's the debt. And it is very concerning. As you can see, and since that kind of 71 and towards the 80s, that's when that major shift happened. That's when the world effectively started amounting debts at an incredible, scary rate. So the credit extension throughout the world has been severely abused. Centrally banked currencies are engaged in competitive devaluation. We see that continuously, quantitative easing that governments are releasing continuously. It's likely that the price of gold is being manipulated to consume inflation, and worldwide debt has reached distressing levels. So as you can see from the chart, it is really happening, and it's just getting worse and worse as we go along. So the technology is reinventing money. We've already seen that. It started from Bitcoin, but Bitcoin was or is the very first, the pioneer, the grandfather of them all. So the encryption and blockchain technology creates new possibilities for money. And we're going to talk briefly about the blockchain technology and what it is in a moment. So autonomous digital currency systems offer transparent, global, and frictionless value exchange. Networks are now the source of value. Physical assets are fading. So what it means effectively is that you can send money digitally, so without changing your location, without actually physically going and seeing another person, using the internet, over the internet, in a very transparent way to any place in the world and without any particular delay. So the blockchain, why we say that the blockchain is the future of transactions, it's because what this system, this underlying system that was invented together with Bitcoin to support the Bitcoin network, is because the blockchain is a mutual distributed ledger that keeps digital assets completely secure through that network, that global network of computers. It removes the risk of theft, hacking, and duplication. Those that understand how the blockchain works know how it's done. It's effectively through the consensus. In order to make any adjustment to how the blockchain is structured to a particular piece of data on that global distributed ledger, you actually have to control over 51% of all the machines on which that data is actually being stored. And that is virtually impossible. It's actually more beneficial for anyone who's into that kind of hacking, cybercrime, to be part of it and support digital currencies rather than being against them. So the blockchain also allows people everywhere to transact safely, securely, without the need for guarantees from governments and banks. Basically, the blockchain technology is eliminating the middlemen. Middlemen, they do not exist here. It's a peer-to-peer, person-to-person type of transfer, exchange of value. It does not have to be financial. It can be any form of exchanging value. And the system is reliable way to validate digital transactions. Blockchain will change our understanding of money forever. Effectively, what it does, how quickly transactions can happen globally at virtually no cost. And The Guardian said that the blockchain is one of the biggest IT inventions of our time. And we've already been seeing how the world of money is changing. From initially back in the days, and I do not remember those times, but I've just heard the stories that people used to bring money back home in brown envelopes. Of course, if that happened today, someone would be raising eyebrows where that money came from. But back in the day, that was the reality. Then we moved into checks. Then from checks, together with checks, the cash money started being then transferred to banks, physical financial institutions. Then credit cards, debit cards became more popular. And then very recently, we started seeing solutions coming out that allow mobile payments, where our phones became our wallets at the same time through solutions that Apple Pay delivered as well as Vodafone delivered. So phones and digital transactions are now go hand to hand. hand in hand. So digital currency and fiat currency already coexists, but digital currency will only continue to grow. For those that do not know, fiat currency is pounds, dollars, euros, naira, whatever your currency is. Digital is 100% over the internet. Digital currencies do not have any physical form, but those are the new currencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dascoin, and other currencies. So the blockchain will soon be the norm. This underlying technology that supports Bitcoin, but now also hundreds of other currencies, is predicted to continue its growth and at an exponential rate. 80% of the world's banks are developing their own blockchain technology. They want to use that technology to actually record their data, to transact, to make sure that their databases cannot be in any way compromised. Dubai aims to shift 100% of government transactions to blockchain by 2020. And really, when we think about it, we are already in the middle of 2017. That's only 2.5 years away. The Indian government sees blockchain as the means to abolish cash. And we see that in many, many different countries around the world. We see those movements in China, Russia, Japan in recent months. And Bitcoin was the start. Everything started with Bitcoin. And through Bitcoin, the blockchain was born, that underlying structure that allowed coins to be released, recorded, to avoid double spending. Bitcoin is the world's first, at the moment, most popular digital currency, and is controlled by the people, not by the governments and banks. Blockchain allows transactions with tiny fees, better security, and no government involvement. It literally changed the nature of money. Literally, it did. And we see that more and more since probably around January this year, this huge uptake in the blockchain and the popularity of cryptocurrencies. So this is effectively the start of a revolution, and the use of blockchain could create a real economic revolution. That's a quote by Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group, and you could find that at finance.yahoo.com. And in the future, financial transactions will eventually be digital, universal, and almost free. That's something that Bill Gates said, and you can find that quote at the Entrepreneur magazine. And all of us understand and know these figures, and we know how innovative they've been in their businesses, and rarely those guys are wrong. So, and this is, I don't know whether to laugh or cry when I see this chart, but just imagine, had you had the knowledge that you have today about the cryptocurrency potential or the blockchain, or if you haven't, I strongly encourage you to delve deeper into this entire space, because it just shows you the power of this industry. So $1 back in August 2010, today in June 2017, or last month, would have been worth $40,000. Just add a couple of zeros to it, 100 to 4 million, from $100 to 4 million, for example. That's the growth. So had you known what you know now, or what you can know through all the information, all the videos, magazines, articles out there, how popular and huge this industry is, this is the space right now to focus on. And you will see exactly why over the next few slides. So that's the growth since 2010, but the industry is growing at a much quicker pace right now. So as you've seen, the early adopters have made millions, and we see some of the names. So Jared Kenner, he's the mining pioneer. His net worth is around 30 million. Charlie Shrem, the founder of BitInstant, his net worth is about 45 million. And Roger Ver, aka Bitcoin Jesus, and he's been promoting Bitcoin everywhere. He lives in Tokyo, Japan, and he's the speaker on many conferences with regards to blockchain, with regards to Bitcoin. And his net worth is predicted to be by Bloomberg and reaching about $52 million. So we've also seen those quotations made by Guardian. They did some investigation, and someone And that's a genuine story about the guy who bought $27 worth of Bitcoin back in the days that was believed towards the end of 2010. And then he forgot completely about it. And in 2016, that at some point in 2016, that $27 worth of Bitcoin back in 2010 was actually estimated to be worth $886,000. That guy basically cashed out, sold, and he probably bought a couple of houses for that $27. So the market continues to grow. And this is a quotation that you can see here by Andreas Antonopoulos. And this is the guy that actually teaches. He's one of the teachers at the University of in Nicosia in Cyprus. There is a special module or subject you can study towards the master's degree and study digital currencies as well as the blockchain. So it's a very highly regarded and renowned person when it comes to this cryptocurrency space. And he said where Bitcoin and other blockchains are today is approximately when the internet was in 1992. So that's in terms of technology, in terms of infrastructure deployment, as well as in terms of adoption patterns. We are super, super early. What we're seeing out there in the cryptocurrency world is a little bit of a noise, but those that have followed it, at least for the last few months, they understand exactly what is going on over there and what the potential is, just what the potential is of this entire space. So despite the creation of considerable value, experts predict that this is really just the beginning. So again, Richard Branson and Bill Gates here. But Bitcoin may not be may not dominate the future. So we need things that draw on the revolution of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin alone is just not good enough. Bitcoin may not be the perfect currency of the future, but is the pioneer of a global currency. There will be other currencies like it that may be even better. And we know how it goes. We know how the technology progresses, that there is always that first innovative concepts. And then very quickly, it becomes people just kind of build on it and realize what the possible drawbacks are, what the disadvantages are of that very first pioneering solution. It's like that with everything. Even when you talk about Richard Bannister running that 4-minute mile for the very first time, no one had ever done it. And then I believe within the first month after he had done that, he had run that 4-minute mile, another 10 people had done that. It was just something that it just happens. You've got that initial huge achievement, and then all of a sudden you've got people jumping on it and topping it effectively, making it even better. So, and why Richard Branson said that Bitcoin potentially is not the future. Bitcoin is experiencing significant challenges. This month we're seeing a lot of noise, and this is why the market has been up and down when it comes to cryptocurrencies, because just like any other market, it doesn't just always go smoothly upwards. Every single time when there is that technological obstacle, and that's what Bitcoin is effectively experiencing right now. And because of its domination, because of how big it is when it comes to the size of the entire space, it does have quite a heavy weighing. And Bitcoin, as we see, it's not handling transactions well. We're waiting between 2 to sometimes even 24 hours for transactions, for confirmations to happen, for that transaction to be processed and then sent to another person. It wasn't like that originally. Back in 2015, even 16, those transactions happened very, very quickly. You could transfer the money very quickly, Bitcoin, from one place to another. But then because of the size of the network, because of the popularity, Bitcoin just stopped scaling at some point. Bitcoin is also only accepted by a few merchants. It's estimated that since Bitcoin launched, so about 2009, 2010, up until today, there are only about 500,000 merchants around the world that accept Bitcoin. Also, Bitcoin has that element of anonymity, where without liaising with third parties, it's very hard to actually obtain end users, customers' data in case there are some discrepancies in the way the transactions happen, that particular transaction happened. So most governments do not recognize it, inability to comply with emerging regulations, lack of effective governance. And yes, I could almost hear someone saying, but this government is accepting it. This government is accepting it. You've got to think about all these things, really all these things, and consider why some of the governments are starting to accept Bitcoin. Whether could it be that they just prefer to accept the lesser evil rather than actually still sit on the fence and completely ignore it and watch everyone else is effectively jumping on it. So that's my belief, that this is just a lesser evil, but the moment there is something better on the horizon, stronger, that offers a much greater scalability, that will be something the governments will be paying attention to. And we believe that we actually have something that could deliver. So the iteration of innovation for every pioneering brand, as I mentioned before, there is a second more successful innovator. These innovators take the best of the first and build on it. Seeing these trends early can be life-changing. And those that jumped, I was actually there when Facebook launched. I remember where I was sitting in my office, still at a corporate job, with my back towards the window, and Facebook went public. $40. It started around $40, then it started dropping, and then it ended up on about, within a few days, it ended up on about $18, $20. And I said to my colleague, you saw, I did tell you, can you see? This isn't Facebook, that digital fancy word without any kind of backing in commodities or anything like that, without having a physical presence or kind of physical product that you can touch, cannot survive in this technology. And how wrong was I back then when Facebook first launched? Everything is going digital. It's all about the network. That's what we've recognized, and some of us have realized that hopefully by now. I definitely have. So we've seen Yahoo, Netscape originally launched this entire search engine, and then Yahoo came in and blew it out of water completely, introducing their technology that was significantly better than what Netscape was offering originally when it comes to search. And then we thought at that point, that's it. That's as good as it's going to get. Google came in. Again, completely different level. And the same happened to social media platforms. Started with Bebo, then moved on to MySpace. Exactly the same situation. We thought, can it be any better? Facebook came in. Nokia, telephones, technology, telecommunications. Again, the same thing. We had Nokia, then we saw some different brands coming into the market, Motorola coming in, Sony Ericsson, etc. Then Apple came in, completely different level of technology, adaptation, and just swept them out of water completely. The adaptation of that, of Apple mobile phones in 2010, 11, 12, we've seen a huge, huge increase in popularity. Despite the economy back around that time, when the market was really, really low. So that's what is happening. We see these companies initially, and then they are pioneers in the space. Abdul Salam, if you can just mute yourself, please. And then another technology provider is coming in. Just 1 second, I need to mute. I'm going to go back. Okay, so as of today, when it comes to technology and what can happen, if someone said to me, there's going to be soon a better company than Facebook, honestly, I would not say no to that, because anything's possible. In this day and age, absolutely anything's possible. But so what will be the next move? Some of the world's most innovative businesses are focused on bringing new digital currencies to market. Those who missed out on Bitcoin are seeking a currency that can go mainstream. And we believe that we've got that currency. And that currency, the concept or the project, was introduced or created and founded back in 2014. So it started with these four gentlemen, John Preto, Terry O'Hearn, Michael Matthias, and George Sasovich. Those four gentlemen have formed a company called Dascoin, and with their very disruptive and innovative technology that is right now being developed, we believe that this is the currency that could genuinely go mainstream. And that's the most powerful slide I've seen, really well made, honestly. big thumbs up to our graphic designers, because that really resonates with everyone. We spend typically the most of our time when explaining the opportunity on this exact slide, just to help people understand the scope of the project. This isn't just like some of the ICOs that we see on the market, some of these cryptocurrency companies that are trying to raise money through ICOs, where they have like 4 developers, 1 support, 1 marketing person, and someone from sales. We're talking about an international alliance of companies that came together, joined forces, in order to create this global solution that we believe will go mainstream. So starting from Brian Semkiel, he's the CEO of Carta Worldwide. He's not part of Dascoin. Carta Worldwide is an independent Canadian company that worked with such companies like Apple, Vodafone, PayPal, Uber. I believe that right now they're working with over 52 Danish banks, and they're responsible for mobile technology, for mobile payment solutions. So they've developed the secret sauce that helped Apple bringing Apple Pay into the market. Without Carta, Apple Pay would not exist. Then we've got our lawyer, Abraham Sofa from the United States, makes sure that we comply with local regulations of different jurisdictions around the world. Then we've got 4 founders of the company. Terry Hearn, George Sasevich, Michael Matthias, John Preto. These guys have worked for many international businesses, large corporations, financial institutions like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase. Blair Baker helped launching one of the largest foreign exchange platforms or brokerage house in the world called FXCM. Now I believe those guys run 200 billion worth of transactions on a weekly basis. Eberhard Wedekind, he's the former VP of Volvo Group. Everyone recognizes Volvo, one of the most popular cars in the world. He's now on the board of directors of Dascoin, and he's helping, kind of shaping this vision and making it happen. Lim Sun Hock, he's the person from Compaq Computers. He spent majority of his professional career working for Compaq, and Compaq Computers back in the 1990s was the 2nd largest computer company in the world. They've introduced some incredibly disruptive technologies to really make it difficult for IBM, and that's the person who took Compaq Computers to $1 billion, to the first $1 billion they've ever made. That was the historical moment, and you can find that article, you can find that picture from the magazine when he was there with one of the company directors. Then we've got Pavel Baines. Pavel Baines is the CEO of Bluzel Networks. Bluzel is a consultancy company that works exclusively with the companies in this blockchain, mobile payments technologies, blockchain, cryptocurrency space. He's also the person that very recently, I believe on the 16th of June, was awarded as the Pioneer of the Year by the World Economic Forum. And he's actually sitting on their committees on a regular basis and helping kind of improving the global economy of the world. And he's the guy who's also sitting on a board of directors. He's the technology partner that is going to be working on one of the solutions, smart contracts for Dascoin. KCC, he's got his own high performance or high achievers academy. This is a gentleman that worked very closely with Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as well as Anthony Robbins, one of the most renowned motivational speakers in the world. Yo-Yo Yin, he's the Chief Compliance Officer for Dascoin. Previously, he spent over 35 years working for ExxonMobil, one of the biggest oil and gas companies in the world, and he spent over there, he worked with different roles for that company. So we're not just talking about people on the inside who work and make this project happen. And I'm going to explain exactly what this company is working on, but we've got external parties that came in, realizing what the vision is, the magnitude of the project, and then they decided to come in, step up and help and actually help delivering this solution onto the market. So the journey began in 2014, research and development initially then the leadership events have started in order actually to attract others into the ecosystem, start explaining what the vision is, and seeing basically how the community, what the community thinks about this technology. 1 second, because we still have people trying to get in. And then we've seen more events happening around the world. So we had the October, another leadership meeting in Belgrade, November, summit in Dubai. January was a very special day for the company. That's when they released their white paper, the draft, the very first version of the white paper. And that document effectively explained exactly what the company is trying to do, what they're trying to achieve. March 2017, 31st of March, I was there in Zurich, and that's when they launched their blockchain. At that point, all the doubts had disappeared. At that point, those involved have really kind of opened up their eyes and minds on a potential, on a true potential. At that point, we just knew that we are part of something really, really special and unique. So the blockchain launched together with Dascoin. The minting process, the process of creating coins had started on the 31st of March. And at that point, I already have Dascoins in my wallet. Then 24th, 25th of June 2017, I was there also in Warsaw. The company celebrated their first year anniversary. So they've been out as a running business in operations for 1 year exactly. And they launched originally, as you can see, in 2016, June 2016. And now, so that's from Zurich, that was probably the biggest, and I don't believe that there would potentially be a bigger event than in March 2017. Even the launch on external exchanges early next year, arguably, I'm not quite sure whether that's going to be bigger than March 2017. That's when I was there sitting in the front row, and then I saw people stepping on a stage from Carta Worldwide, from Bluzel, also, and you can see them on the picture in the left, bottom left corner. You can see also gentlemen from St. Luke's Media Agency, one of the biggest media agencies, PR agencies in the world. These guys did marketing campaigns for IKEA, Emirates, Heineken, Strongbow, Mothercare, Majestic Wine. They actually did the entire branding and marketing for London Olympics, for Eurostar. These guys right now have, just like any other company involved, just like Carta, just like Bluzel, they've got millions and millions of dollars worth of pending contracts in their pipelines because of what these companies do. And at that point, they officially confirmed to the world effectively that they are part of Dascoin. They're helping Dascoin delivering this solution onto the market. So what is Dascoin effectively doing? Dascoin is an innovative global technology platform. NetLeaders is leading the establishment of the Internet of Trust. NetLeaders markets the licenses to a virtual private network that will serve as an authenticated global network and will host a range of data services, smart contracts, and blockchain applications. Just so that you understand what the relationship is between Dascoin and NetLeaders. NetLeaders is the marketing arm of Dascoin. And Dascoin is the currency of trust. Dascoin is the digital asset system, the world's most advanced and secure solution for exchanging value. And just to give you a little taste of what's coming, we've got this very short 2-minute video that will explain the ecosystem to some degree, and then I will carry on with the presentation. So just.
In a world of financial enslavement and the ever-present fallibility of corporate banks and governments, Dascoin marks a new era in mainstream currency, aimed at empowering people all over the world. A global currency that puts you in complete control and frees you to acquire and exchange value on your terms. Built on a bedrock of trust, Dascoin promises a future where people everywhere, from you and I to underprivileged communities throughout the world, will unlock new levels of prosperity. Imagine a world where we are truly liberated, completely autonomous, and fully empowered, where your money is constantly accessible, effortlessly exchanged, and universally accepted, giving you complete control, total freedom, and absolute peace of mind. The emergence of a mainstream digital currency is inevitable. The only questions that remain are, how and when will this happen? Right now, we are laying the foundations for a new kind of currency, a currency of trust, where the right to trade and the right to be trusted will be as universally available as the air that we breathe. It's our collective assertion of these rights that will enable us all to flourish. By adapting trust to the digital paradigm, we can free ourselves from the burdens and abuses of unsound money systems. To embrace Dascoin is to take a stake in a movement that will spread prosperity throughout the world. Join us in creating a brighter financial reality for everyone.
Every single time when I watch this video, I get goosebumps because I've been with Dascoin since September last year. So I've seen things changing. I've seen things being developed and added into this ecosystem, and now it's been over there. It's intentional. I've seen exactly what is happening. I'm not sure. What about everyone else? Have you been able to see the video to watch it? Sometimes it's the browser itself that is preventing it from displaying properly. It's not something that I can control from my end. So now the ultimate digital currency. So Dascoin effectively is the hybrid that combines the best aspects of decentralized digital currencies with the best elements of centralized currencies. And we believe that we're gonna achieve what we are planning to achieve, that going mainstream through all these 10 elements, and they will be slowly introduced to us over the next weeks and months in a much greater detail. So authenticated network. So in order to access, to be part of Dascoin, to be part of the blockchain of Dascoin, you need to authenticate. You need to provide some form of authentication so that you can become part of the community. Greater utility, better performance. The blockchain of Dascoin performs transactions, creates blocks every 6 seconds. Greater efficiency, wider distribution, enhanced security, greater liquidity, robust ecosystem, broad adaptation, and full compliance. And I'm going to be touching on some of these areas as we go along. So now, this isn't something that Dascoin produced, the marketing team at Dascoin. This is a comparison made by Long Finance. Long Finance is an independent institution based out of London in the UK that analyzes potential future monetary systems, how they could work, what they would do, and whether genuinely they could reach that mass adaptation. And this is the comparison that they did, comparing Dascoin, what Dascoin is looking to do versus what Bitcoin is currently offering. So when it comes to the very first one, how fast it is, Dascoin payments will be possible within 6 seconds, possibly even faster. We have that possibility to increase the speed. Transactions with Bitcoin are just unpredictable. Hopefully, I'm actually hoping, because I still have Bitcoins, I use Bitcoins right now. I'm hoping that this change that is happening on the 1st of August will improve it. But the biggest question is, for how long? We just don't know. As this network grows again, it's going to hit another major obstacle. Usability, how useful effectively it is. Dascoin, with its solution, with its mobile payment solution, and I will describe it a little bit later, will be available in over 60 million merchants. As of today, we can already give you that estimate. Bitcoin in the last 8 years is now recognized. It can be actually used by about, that number has increased actually. It's close to 500,000. Safety, this is going to be the first world's most secure digital currency with a hardware wallet, where the hardware wallet effectively is required, because hardware wallet will become your bank. You will be storing all your coins, and you will be the only person who will be able to access them. And also, every single time when you will be transacting, using Dascoin, you'll be then authenticating additionally. So that's that additional form of security. Bitcoin is vulnerable. We've seen all sorts of different troubles and tribulations Bitcoin's been going through, from people forgetting how to access their wallets to exchanges being hacked, Bitcoin being stolen. Trust it. So payments are private, but not anonymous, because the blockchain itself of Dascoin is authenticated. Then Bitcoin, governments are wary of the anonymity of Bitcoin, and it's well documented links to all sorts of dark web activities. Versatile, Dascoin's blockchain supports smart contracts and other network services, allowing for integration of new product developments. Dascoin is not just one solution, but it's the whole palette of different solutions, and you will see that on a circle further down. And Bitcoin is just a payment. It's just a payment solution and nothing else. Now, you can see the circle. So I would compare personally Bitcoin to just what DasPay offers. And to be honest, it's not going to be anywhere near what DasPay will be capable of. Smart contracts, that's something we can compare to Ethereum. And there are many companies that are now launching with a smart contracts. But again, that's just a small portion of what Dascoin is looking to introduce into the market. So both payment solutions and smart contracts, it's just 5-10%. There are many, many different services the company is looking to introduce: trade finance, blockchain as a service, network services, infrastructure as a service. Then we've got that third-party validation, account verification, lots and lots of different elements. And those are kind of the use cases we're starting to build a more tangible, something that people can relate to. But as you can see, with our solutions, we are predicting that we'll be able to virtually target every single market out there, whether it's from when it comes to record keeping, healthcare, title records, ownership, whose house is this, voting, local elections, national elections, intellectual property, writers, game producers, song producers, anything. Derivatives, crowdfunding, debts, private markets, equity, as you can see, wages, escrow services, trade finance, succession rights, who gets what after you're not there anymore, effectively. So this it's the digital inheritance rights, in other words, digital rights, e-commerce, global payments, remittance service, P2P lending, microfinance, all these areas we will be able to target with our solutions. Now, this is, again, I've actually got a copy here, 2 copies of Millionaire Asia magazine. This magazine goes out to about 140,000 millionaires across Asia every single month. We've asked for 2-page article on Dascoin. The editor, one of the main editors of that magazine, was there at the launch of the blockchain, as you can see here from the pictures, on the 31st of March. And he actually decided to increase from 2 to 24-page editorial. He's actually written 24-page editorial article on Dascoin ecosystem, what the company is actually looking to do and achieve. So that's, and I'm actually on one of these, if you can see the guy in the red shoes, that's me. I was there on the 31st of March. And that's the solution effectively that will ensure that you are the only owner of Dascoin. So this is the very first currency that will have that, where the hardware wallet is essential. It's required for you to be doing transactions as well as storing your coins. So this is the world's most secure solution out there on the market. And these actually will be distributed to us, the people who are on the inside of this community as of this quarter. Now, how to become part of Dascoin, because we're not trading yet. We are still in a development phase up until early 2018. So as of today, in order to become part of the network, become part of the community, and actually be part of the early adopters, because that's what it is. And the company is really incredibly rewarding those that take that step today and do not wait for next week, next month, early next year, very handsomely, and you will see those numbers very, very soon. So you are effectively buying the license, and for that license, you are receiving cycles. Cycles is something like an internal currency that Dascoin had introduced into the market. You can compare cycles to buying or to having a gift card to your favorite shopping center or shopping mall. You can spend it or inside any of the stores inside that shopping mall. And shopping mall is that ecosystem of Dascoin, of all the products and services. So the cycles that you receive for the license that you're going to buy, and you can purchase one of the 6 licenses that you can see over here, starting from €100, then 500, 2,000, 5,000, 12,500, 25,000 euro license. You can buy any of them. For any of them, you will receive, of course, bigger. As the bigger the license, the more cycles you'll receive, and then you can spend your cycles on any of the products inside the Dascoin ecosystem. So what's next for Dascoin? This is the very, very exciting and very aggressive roadmap. So Q3, effectively now, this quarter, July, August, September, web wallet payment cards are going to be released. Internal exchange is launching. At that point, Dascoin will have value. We will be able to exchange, buy and sell Dascoins, anyone who's part of the community. Hardware wallet functionality will be released. So we will also have our own hardware wallets, our banks effectively. Stock trading, NetLeaders app, first smart contracts. They will be launching in Q4. Q1, external exchanges. That's plural again. So we can see exactly what's going on. Web wallet app, and then Q2 next year, Validator and DasPay. What effectively is DasPay? Honestly, I'm going to speed up a little bit going through those slides because we've been going for about 45 minutes. DasPay, if Dascoin didn't do anything else, if their sole focus was to introduce DasPay solution onto the market, I'll be happy. At that point, we would still be the most powerful cryptocurrency on the market. What essentially is, DasPay will be an app that you're going to have on your mobile phone. You're going to install all your Dascoins that you will receive from the licenses that you purchase will be then available within that app. And you would then go to any of the stores that accept Visa and MasterCard, and you will be scanning, just like you're scanning with your credit card, with your debit card, with the proximity, with contactless technology. You will just be scanning through the point of sale terminal, and that's how the transaction will happen. So using cryptocurrency, you can go to your local Starbucks, tap against the point of sale terminal, your Dascoins will be then traveling at a lightning speed to a public cryptocurrency exchange. They will be sold. The merchant you buying the product, the coffee, water from, whatever that might be, will be receiving money in their local currency, and the appropriate amount of Dascoins will be deducted from the balance within your DasPay account. Everything will be done within 6 seconds. Just the same amount of time it takes you to right now to pay for your coffee, whether that's typing, contactless. It's very, very similar, if not even faster. This technology will disrupt. We're dealing with a currency that is finite. There will only ever be 8.6 billion Dascoins available in the world. That's it. It cannot be printed. It cannot be like, a code cannot change. That's it. That is the limit. So average transaction time, 6 seconds, requires no change to existing point of sales terminals. DasPay is one of the key reasons Dascoin will become mainstream. Okay, and these are the licenses again, starting from 100 to all the way down to or up to 25,000. They've got different parameters here. What I wanted to focus on is that frequency lock. It's almost like a risk to reward mechanism. Effectively, the lower the frequency, the more coins you are going to receive for your license. So the quicker you make a decision, the more coins you will be given. The greater the share of this whole ecosystem will be given to you for your license. So for those that join us when we launch on external exchanges, those people will get significantly less coins than people that join Dascoin right now. We're still in that funding phase where there is that, we're not out there just yet. So the company is rewarding you for your trust in the business. And that's why they've got that frequency mechanism. And the frequency will be changing again as of Monday. So we've got today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got last 3 days of the frequency. Also, upgrades. Every 108 days, we receive more cycles. And then cycles, again, can be then converted to coins. basically, if you have any of the first 3 licenses, so 100, 500, or 2,000, you are entitled to receive 1 upgrade. 1 upgrade means 1 more lot or batch of cycles that will be given to you, and those cycles will be then converted to coins. If you have a 5,000 or 12,500 license, you will receive 2 additional lots of cycles, and the biggest license will give you 3. And that happens every 108 days. And that next batch release of upgrades of cycles is actually happening on a Monday. And the beauty of how it's been designed, that anyone actually who joins before Monday will still be able to benefit from it. So if you're going to buy any of the first 3, you're going to get your first lot of cycles, and then like a few days later, another one, and then you'll be done. You will have everything. And then if you have bigger license, you're going to get your first and the second one straight away. And then 108 days later, you will get the total. The bigger the license, basically, the more coins you're receiving, and then the more money eventually they will be worth. Gaining access, again, one of the six licenses, you can have multiple. We've got people that have families effectively positioned here, and they've bought. I've already explained what upgrades effectively are, and that's the change, as I've mentioned. Those that joined early benefit from lower frequencies, effectively. So the frequency on the 1st of April was 5.8, and people that bought 2,000 euro license back then received 9,100 coins. Now, when someone is joining right now, and actually the frequency is even higher right now, because it is 7.7, and we expect it to be even higher on Monday. Frequency does not always go up, does not always go by the same increment. It depends on sales. The bigger the demand, the higher the frequency. So the more people join, the quicker the frequency goes up, the less coins the person that joins is going to receive for their license. That's why, and with the launch of internal exchanges, and soon afterwards, with the launch of external exchanges, I honestly do not predict sales to be actually going down at any point. So as you can see, huge difference. Those early adopters, people that joined earlier into the development of this project, have benefited significantly more. So, and we are actually positioned in possibly the most disruptive markets there are. 1 is mobile payments. 2 is the space of the blockchain and the cryptocurrency space. This market had been rapidly expanding and growing since April. The valuation, the total market cap back in April was 25 billion. It had gone up to about 112. Actually, I think at some point was even 118 billion dollars. Now is around 95. Again, it will be going up and down as these big moves and changes happen. However, the growth is just exponential. So again, we're seeing the growth of some of the other companies in this space, some of the other cryptocurrencies. It's not just Bitcoin that is raising in value. And to be honest, look at the proportions now. Since March, Bitcoin doubled more or less. Ethereum moved from $15 to $346. Ripple from half a cent to 31 cent. NEM again, nearly a cent to 19 to nearly 20. Dash 32 to 184, etc. You see the numbers. This is the growth of the industry, and it's all about the companies that have communities, about the companies that provide genuine value to the market. And I believe that we, effectively, with our solution, can provide more value than any of these that you see here. Again, that's the comparison where we are. We have this world of all these kind of almost arguments or discussions, heated discussions, whether it's better to have permissioned blockchain, open blockchain, decentralized, centralized. We believe that we are right in the middle of it all. And just look at that comparison when it comes to licenses. Let's say that you've bought today 5,000 euro license at the current frequency, again, only available until Sunday night, 7.7. that 5,000 euro license will give you 37,000, roughly 37,000 coins. And now, again, we cannot predict anything at this point. The value of Dascoin will be assigned when we launch on internal exchange, and then ultimately the market, when we launch on external exchanges, the market will decide on the worth of the coin. We can tell you what we're doing, what the company is working on developing. We cannot make any projections. There are no projections. That if you have seen any projections, they are not real because we're not out there yet. But let's just have that hypothetical discussion. Let's say Dascoin launches and the price goes only up to €1, only to €1, and you've seen what's possible. Your 5,000 euro license will be then worth 37,000 euro. If it goes to 10, 371,000 euros from 5,000 euro license. You've got to look deep into what the ecosystem of Dascoin is going to offer. Compare it to top 10 biggest coins at the moment out on the market, and you'll be amazed. You'll be really amazed, and you'll literally be getting goosebumps every single time when you're thinking about it. What's the next step? Grab the license. If you feel that you've seen enough, if you haven't, go back to the person who introduced you to this, who invited you to this webinar. Talk to them and tell them to give you a little bit more information, because I cannot physically go through it all. It would take too long. And then make a decision. It's as simple as that. And then what the company has also done, and this is something that had really pushed and increased the growth of the community. It's almost like it's completely switched gears to when the company was back in August, September, to where the company is now, is they've also introduced a model of rewarding people that are willing to share the concept, that want to share the concept, the project with others. And that's effectively what I'm doing. I'm being recognized for the work that I'm doing for the company. I'm not part of the company. I just partnered up with them. So they've got this sister company called Net Leaders, and they're responsible for marketing, based out of Singapore, of the ecosystem partners in Dubai, Hong Kong, Belgrade, Zurich, Malta, and Ireland, different places. And their mission is to lay down a global bedrock of trust that unlocks prosperity for everyone. And again, the Net Leaders, this whole journey, the Net Leaders is the company that is now selling licenses. Anyone who wants to become part of the community, become part of Dascoin, still before we go on exchanges and benefit from all the extra coins that they're getting. Net Leaders is coordinating this entire process. So you can become a customer, just buy the license and just wait for things to happen. You can become an advocate. Advocate is a person that is sharing this project with others and is being compensated for it, or you can be both. And most of us, like 99.9, are actually both. They're customers, and they also have that advocate status, and they're being recognized. So customers buy licenses. When you become an advocate, you open yourself up to the possibility of actually earning commissions by referring others to this entire community, to this entire network. So we believe that we're really building something amazing. So several reasons. Blockchain is the most significant technology innovation of our time, full stop. Possibly, people are saying that even bigger than the internet itself. Digital currency will empower people all over the world. We're seeing these shifts and how quickly these shifts are progressing and accelerating. And you can participate at the early stage of the creation of a global network that has a potential to unlock prosperity for all of its participants. And just try to imagine how many different geographies, targets. We want to also target the unbanked of the world. Over 2 billion people around the world have no access to banking system. And now we'll have that possibility of actually benefiting from this ecosystem. Our actually target is to provide a solution that will be supporting a network of 1 billion people worldwide. So through sharing this with others, you have this fantastic income opportunity as well, together with the company. That's what the company is providing. So compensation plan, unlimited earnings potential, and industry-leading training and support. And then you've got also the reward and recognition system. So you don't need to do it full-time. There is no previous experience required. You are sharing. You are people that start and want to be sharing with others. Initially, they invite some of the people they know into this presentation so that they can make a decision. No one is forced to do anything here. If you want to participate, if you want to be an advocate, you are, then you join. And that's what we do. So you can work part-time. For those that have that possibility, you can work full-time. You can work from home. You can travel. You can do it from anywhere in the world on the side of your existing business, a job, whatever that might be. So we have adopted effectively the model of sharing, and the revenue is then from sales is being then some of the revenue goes back and recognizes people that have contributed to these sales happening. And we've got this compensation plan starting from direct sales. So if you sell €2,000 license, you're going to make 10% commission. And then you've got the network bonus, you've got the matching bonus over there as well. So again, with the way this is structured, there's no requirement for you to become an advocate. Even if you decide to also become an advocate and share, there are no monthly ongoing costs. There is nothing like monthly auto ship, nothing like that. It's completely down to you. There are no sales requirements. You've got the entire education there available in the back office. It's completely up to you whether you're going to take advantage of that possibility of you earning through sharing or not. So again, this is just a very brief summary of what's been happening. So we had this fantastic celebration there in Poland, and you can actually see me here on the left-hand side. I was there on a stage as well. And that was a fantastic event to celebrate how far we'd gone, the journey of Dascoin. And we've actually got a very short, I'm going to probably finish with this video. So this is from that celebration, from that anniversary.
I want to dance by water beneath the Mexican sky, drink some margaritas by string of blue lights, listen to the mariachi play at midnight. Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me?
As you saw, there's just, okay, I'm going to skip this. This is a video that we from one of the projects, one of the case studies that we're doing in Africa. We are already working with Ugandan governments on the actually land registries. But guys, you can see the excitement, you can see what's going on over there, and that's why I'm actually attending these events, to see people that are working on this technology, people that are developing these solutions. And it's not just about me going again and seeing the same people who are involved just like myself in this business, but I'm actually I'm going out there and speaking with the developers. I'm speaking with the company owners. I'm actually speaking with the support people. So what is the next step? The next step is effectively for you to decide whether this is already at this stage something that you will be part of. But honestly, I believe that everyone should, at least to some degree, be part of Dascoin. Just when you think about, honestly, when I was kind of considering joining initially, and I thought the amount of money that sometimes I spend on silly things that do not give me that possibility to earn anything at all, versus an incredibly well-developed, designed project with really backed up by some of the biggest technology partners in this space, it was really a no-brainer. I just knew that this is something that I need to be part of right away, and that's why I decided to join. And then I started delving deeper and deeper into the concept, into what Dascoin is effectively offering. Then I went to the event, I saw partners actually just going on a stage and presenting. And at that point, I just knew, okay, this is much bigger than I originally thought, that this is genuinely something that can be developed. We are seeing many of these projects out there where they are at super early stages, raising millions and millions of dollars, but realistically, those guys out there, those ICOs out there, they are probably 2, 3, 4 years before anything major will happen. Potentially, some of them will never actually get there. With Dascoin, we are 1 year into the development. Major developments will be finalized as of this year and early next year. And then at that point, Dascoin will actually be market ready. We'll be able to go out there and use these technologies to actually purchase, to make everyday life purchases. This is the beauty of this entire ecosystem. And on that, that's going to be it. I'm slowly losing my voice, and I've actually got another presentation later on today. So I'm hoping that you did enjoy this presentation. They will be getting, actually, as we are going through the slides, making some slight adjustments, they will be only getting better and better. So again, go back. If you are brand new, if you have not quite joined the ecosystem just yet, go back to the person that referred you, that invited you to this presentation, and ask them for either the link to join the community or for some additional information if you would like to hear more. All right. Thank you, everyone. If you do have any questions, just please ask right away. Yes. Brilliant. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you once again for attending. And so we will make another announcement with regards to another presentation very, very soon. All the best. Have a fantastic day. Take care.